Hey guys, I'm excited to announce another new project. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Greg Yetter, and I'm the founder of a company that's making quality sleep technologies. In September 2018, we launched a product called Bedtime Bulb, which has quickly become the top-ranked, top-selling sleep light bulb on Amazon. It's a light bulb that helps you get quality sleep by reducing blue light. So the big announcement is that I decided to get an MBA. I've been in the early stage entrepreneurship game for a while, and I've gotten a couple companies off the ground. Bedtime Bulb has definitely been the most successful, and we've got a lot more exciting stuff coming this year. But I wanted to step up my game, and that's why I decided to get an MBA. So what's my rationale for doing this? We're a sleep tech company, and in tech, especially among engineers, designers, creative type people, MBAs aren't looked upon super highly. But I think that might be more due to the personalities and the type of careers that a lot of MBAs go into that just gets a bit of a frown from engineers. And I think looking at the curriculum of different MBA programs, I could actually see a lot of value that could be very useful to an entrepreneur. Now, I don't think that it's required to have an MBA to be an entrepreneur. There's certainly many business leaders who are not, but there are just as many business leaders who do have an MBA, and it's almost like they have this concept of design patterns or frameworks that you can use to apply to a scaling business. So that's what intrigues me about an MBA, and that's why I decided to start this project. But this project has a twist. I'm not looking to spend $100,000 or multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars on an MBA program right now. I'm not looking to spend tens of thousands of dollars on a mid-tier MBA program. I'm looking to do a self-directed learning project where I get most of the knowledge you would get from an MBA program without actually being enrolled. I was inspired by a guy named Scott Young who did a project called the MIT Challenge. He took the entire curriculum of MIT's 4-year computer science undergraduate program within the span of a year. Instead of taking multiple classes at a time, he did the program linearly. So he would take one class, and then when he finished that class, he would take the next class. Now, Scott didn't get a degree at the end, but he did get most of the knowledge that you would get as an MIT student without having to pay a lot of tuition and on his own schedule. So I thought that there was something pretty powerful about that. The other thing is, in preparation for this, I read Scott's excellent new book, Ultralearning, which gives you a lot of frameworks for structuring a self-directed learning project. So my goal with this mini-MBA project is not to get a degree, it's to acquire the technical and academic skills that MBAs would typically learn. So I want to briefly dive into why I'm not going for a full-time paid MBA program right now. The number one reason is timing and the time commitment. To start with an MBA program, typically the route you would take is to take the GMAT, and that takes typically months of preparation where you have to go through lots of practice tests and learn how to take this test. Then you take the test and then write the applications. Once you are in business school, then you have to take classes, but it's typically on the business school schedule, and currently I would rather take classes on my own schedule, not on their schedule. And the final reason is the opportunity cost. Typically an MBA program takes 18 months to 2 years, and that's a lot of time potentially away from work that's fragmented. You know, like you can't, it's hard to do other work while you're getting an MBA because you might have a class in the middle of the day. The other thing that I see with top tier MBA programs is that there's a higher emphasis on the network and prestige in these programs than the actual coursework. And my case in point for this is 7 of the top 10 B schools have a grade non-disclosure policy. This means that basically everyone has agreed that you don't have to share your grades you got during the MBA program. My basic understanding of this is as long as you pass the class, you will pass the MBA. And I think that has its pros and cons, but the big con of it is that you're not necessarily motivated to do the best in the course and learn the technical aspects 100%. So the advantage of this mini MBA is that I'm pretty much only focusing on the coursework, and I'm basically publicly holding myself accountable for doing a good job. And it's not to say that I'm going to get every solution right, but I think I will be more focused on learning the knowledge. Now, I think that a lot of people do go to MBA programs more for the network and the prestige of the program than the actual coursework. Now, that's not to say that there aren't plenty of super bright people, and even the people who go for prestige are super brilliant people. I don't want to discount that. But I think that it's a slightly different motivation, and often these people are looking for a step up in their career in consulting or finance. So for me as an entrepreneur, it's potentially of a little bit less use right now. But that's not to say that I'm never going to go for the program. But I think that right now I want to focus on the technical skills that I can add to my repertoire, and then I will reconsider if I actually want to go through the full program in the future to further my technical skills and to gain the network that comes along with a good MBA program. And the third reason that I don't want to do a full-time MBA program right now is pretty obvious: the cost. I looked up some numbers, and for tuition alone, the Wharton School at the University of Pennsylvania costs about $85,000 just for the tuition. That's not to consider all of the incidentals, the living costs, and the opportunity costs. The London Business School, another top-ranked MBA program, is similar at about $80,000 in course fees. And of course, there are MBAs that are available online and from lower ranked business schools, but these still cost tens of thousands of dollars. So for me, it's kind of a value trade-off where I don't think that the middle ground is super appealing, and you could definitely disagree with me here, but I don't think the middle ground schools are super appealing. Typically, what a lot of people say is that you should try to shoot for the top tier programs because of the network. And I potentially see the value in that, but I don't think that you need the technical skills to get into that. So I'm not planning on this being free. I've already spent a little bit of money on some reading material, and one part of this course will cost money on a recurring basis, but it's going to be in the hundreds of dollars, not in the tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars for this mini-MBA. The reason that I'm announcing this in the third week of January is because the past 1.5 weeks I've been doing a trial run to understand how much time it actually takes to do the program. I actually took one class already and read a whole book that I will talk about in my next 2 videos, so you can get a bit of an understanding about what I'm doing. But that gave me a better understanding of the time commitment that this is going to bring. So here's how I've decided to do the course. I'm going to do one course at a time, taken from the Wharton MBA core curriculum. And I also plan to follow that up with electives, so it would equal the same amount of coursework that you would get in a full MBA program. But I'm going to do one course at a time. I expect each course to take about 1 week. I'm also planning to review 1 to 2 business cases per week. So I plan to either purchase those from Harvard. They're usually around $9 a piece per case. And I also have some access to business cases that I can get for free, although those aren't the Harvard cases, so I'll probably mix and match. The third thing that I want to do during this program is read some books related to the courses that I'm taking to put them into more of a real-world context. And then, of course, every week I'm planning to upload a video or 2 talking about what I learned that week, how much time I spent on the program, the key takeaways from each module, and then maybe what I would do differently as I go along with this program. I'm expecting this whole Mini-MBA to take no longer than a year. It could take as little as about 8 or 9 months, I think, but that will remain to be seen. I don't have this fully planned out right now. I'm just taking it more on a week-by-week basis, but I will have a more rigid schedule as I go along, and you'll see those in the updates. Now, I want to be clear that the value proposition of the Mini-MBA is entirely different from a full-time MBA. This is more focused just on the technical coursework. What you're not getting is, number 1, the network. In a top-tier MBA school, or even a regular MBA program, you're going to have a network of peers and professors and alumni who can potentially help you out in a lot of ways. This program doesn't have that. I've got you guys in the YouTube comments. There's no feedback. I'm not going to be able to get much feedback from other people that I'm taking the program with because currently I'm taking it by myself. If anybody else is doing something similar or wants to follow along, I'd love to talk, but right now it's just me. And similarly, I'm not getting feedback from professors, so I won't know 100% of the time if my answers are right, but I will make a very strong effort. And finally, there's no prestige or no name associated with it. This is a totally self-directed program that's not accredited. It's just me making it up as I go, but following courses that are published by Wharton and all these other top tier schools, and getting a lot of the education from top tier professors. So I don't think that's a completely a wash, but I can't say that I got a degree from the London Business School at the end of it. Now, this is not to say that I'm not ever considering an MBA. I think there's a lot of value in the MBA, as I've already said, but right now it's not the right thing for me. I want to spend, no more than 4 hours per day on weekdays working on this thing. I don't want it to completely take up 2 years of my life or a year and a half, depending on the program. I do think that if I do apply for business schools, this project will actually make my application stronger because I've already gotten a lot of the key coursework down that I can expand upon within the MBA, maybe even test out of some things or be more of a resource to other students, or to, really just take my knowledge to the next level when I'm taking those classes. So I'm totally not discounting it, but I'm not looking to necessarily go into consulting or finance, so I don't really need the name right now, and I will reevaluate whether I want to pursue the full degree when I get there. So I'd love to hear what you think about my project, if you think it's stupid or you think there's something into it. If you want to do something similar, I'd love to chat, so please leave a comment down below. And I'm looking forward to updating you very soon with updates on the first course that I took and a book that I read that gives a lot of context for evaluating business cases. So thanks so much and have a great day.